How fast and how far? A lot of times when you're messing around with Nerf, these are things you're interested in. But maybe you don't have a fancy chronograph or some way to measure how fast your projectile is going, be they darts or, well, something stupid. In 1742, a man by the name of Benjamin Robbins wrote a book called New Principles of Gunnery. In it, he described the device that he referred to as a ballistic pendulum. This device absorbed the momentum from a projectile, usually a cannon, and was able to measure how fast it was going in miles per hour. This is my ballistic pendulum, as constructed from the book Backyard Ballistics. Now, the basic idea is to arrest the momentum of the projectile. Mark out here the path that the box travels, get the highest point, the lowest point, subtract the two, and you can use math to determine in miles per hour how fast your projectile is going. From there, you convert to feet per second. You need a box to catch the projectile, filled with some kind of soft material in order to arrest the momentum. In this case, I've used tissues. Underneath that, I've taped a felt tip pen that's going to mark its way along the paper as it travels. The box will need to swing freely when it's struck by the projectile. The felt tip pen will mark out the travel of the box after it's struck by the projectile. From the high point and the low point, you can determine the height. This is the engine that's going to make this work. The velocity of our projectile is measured in miles per hour. You can convert that to feet per second. This is the mass of our box. It's going to be measured in grams or ounces, as long as you're consistent with the mass measured of our projectile. This is 2 times the gravitational constant, which is the force that our box rises against when it moves on our little pendulum. And this is the height that our box rises after it's struck by the projectile. Armed with this knowledge, you can now measure the feet per second for all kinds of projectiles, even the silly ones.